Welcome to the Innovation Forge. Next up, we're actually going to start counting behaviors. So we're going to go ahead and make a copy of this behavior with decision date. So let's see, we're going to count events. Yeah, we can just do counts events. So let's be a little bit more specific with how we are filtering our events to do our counts. And so we are joining to the person data table, person to form responses, and form responses to form. So we do have a lot of information both at the form response level and at the form level. So let's add a few more filters. And we'll just do registration status. And this is that form response registration status. So this could be things like attended, no-showed, things along those lines. So if you could be granting points for attending events or subtracting points for no-showing events, this is going to give you the option to specifically count those event engagements. So we're only counting the events the student attended. So if student has an upcoming event they're registered for, this won't count them. You could still filter that. Maybe you want to do half points for registered events. You can do that here in this registration status. So we have the event before the either deposit or the deadline. And we can do things like filter on that form template. Let's see if Clean Slate has anything. So these are all just Clean Slate delivered templates. Maybe we want to count admit student days. And you could, maybe if you wanted to do a combination of templates and forms that are actually living in folders. So we can just do form folders. And maybe you have some non-admitted student day templates that live in the admitted student day folder. You can add those there. And maybe you want to only count the type of form, because this is the form data table. So this is actual like forms like RFIs, it's events, and it's the interview scheduler. So if we also filter for the form type, we can count, maybe I only want the actual events for admitted student day, and I want to exclude the interviews that are happening there. So this gives us a broad selection of filters that allows us to count specifically what we want. And we're just going to get a generic count. So if they went to 5 events or 4 events, 3 events, whatever it might be at the application level. And maybe you also want to add interactions. Maybe you have a spreadsheet that you just upload the interactions to. And you're not able to tie those to a specific event because you're just not creating events for those. But the interaction's a strong enough tool for your use case. You could build those out. Again, I would definitely utilize that date comparison feature. And if you are uploading or creating those interactions, have the interaction date be the event date, not just when you uploaded it. That would be really important for doing these kinds of comparisons. And if we do have multiple types of events, and this could even be, maybe you want to count guided campus tours and another export for self-guided campus tours and another export for academic campus tours. Adding these additional exports becomes easy to count at a broader level with a formula. So maybe we do this instead of events, we do scheduler, and we do interviews. So I want to count, so I'm going to slice this data up in several different exports, but for this one, I want to count events and interviews. So I can actually count those the actual events and the interviews. I can also weight these in a scoring rubric. So maybe I want to count events, or I can weight it or apply a specific scoring rubric. So I'm going to do, I want to apply 5 points for every event, and I only want to apply 3 points for an interview, or whatever your scoring rubric might be. And because these are counts, you should be good on this being the correct data type. If this is, say, for some reason, your data here is like a formula, and you're getting into some errors, you can format type maybe a integer or a real if you need decimal points. But this does give you a lot of flexibility on how you're counting behaviors, what kind of behaviors you're counting, and even applying the scoring rubric directly in your export. And in a future video series, I'll walk through my process of creating scores and predictive models that run and automate directly in Slate. That's not necessarily feature engineering, so that's definitely going to be a later element of this. So maybe just save a copy here.